Hello, Faith Eater, and welcome to Breaktime. Today we are in Psalm 22, verse 1, that says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from the cries of my anguish? Jesus repeated the same scripture on the cross. I'm sure most of us have felt the same exact way. You know, there's something about when we're praying, we're crying, we're in the midst of battles, and you know, the tears are flowing. We're in a place of not understanding why. This question, why? And you know, I've heard so many people, and I've said it myself, why is this happening? And it's one of those questions that has a way, in my mind, and I don't know about yours, but in my mind, just causing such great anguish, such great distress. Because if the why isn't answered, if I can't figure out why I'm going through this, then there's so much heartache, so much, the tears continue to flow. And then the next step, of course, is saying, God, where are you? I've been crying. Can you not hear me? And David felt the same pain, the same anguish. Jesus felt it as well on the cross. You know, the same place of, wow, where are you, God? So if you're in that place, you are absolutely not alone. You know, it's one of those, it's life, it throws us so many curveballs, so many uncertainties that we get to this place. My God, why have you forsaken me? It feels forsaken. It seems like God has forgotten our cause. It seems like God is so distant from our situation, our problem, our circumstance. You know, but can I just remind you and me that God is in the middle of it, and we're in a couple more verses, we're going to get to that place. God sees the full picture, you know, and in this place that seems so hopeless, that God is not in it, that God is not with us, that God has forgotten our circumstance. But, you know, the only thing that brings me this place of hope is that God takes the full picture of my life and your life. He sees the beginning. He's the Alpha and the Omega. So, you know, it's all in that perspective. And so but Jesus was in one of the most forsaken places there could be, hanging on a cross, and he felt this extreme anguish as well. But 3 days later, we know the glory that was brought to our Jesus and the glory that was brought to this world because. And so there is a because. You know, our whys always have because of this. And I don't, you know, it's so painful to say, well, because God's got something greater and grander. You know, because that seems such like a hopeless statement in the midst of pain, because I've been in pain, I know. But can we say that God has a grander picture, and this is a temporal situation, and that there's going to be brighter days, there's going to be greater days, there's going to be grander days. But in the midst of painful suffering, this verse I think is extremely appropriate, because the question why God, where are you? Can you not hear me? Why aren't you saving me? And so there's a piece of this that's so vulnerable, to admit the place that we're at and to allow ourselves to express ourselves before God in a place where it just seems this is the only place we can go with our anguish, is right before God, and ask this tough question. Ask it. And so if you're in this place and you need people to stand with you in prayer, please take advantage of Main Street's. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. We have an email that you can, mainstreet@msministry.org, that you can submit your prayer request, and that we will stand with you during these times. And I think, you know, when we sense that God has forsaken us and a great army, vast army stands with us in the midst of adversity, there is something about the strength that comes as a result of that. So please take advantage of those resources if you're in that place and want people to stand with you in prayer. Know that you are dearly loved, and that God is right there in the midst of whatever situation that you're in.